Okay. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me check the Twitch and YouTube. The Twitch is good, but the YouTube, I gotta get that done. But yeah, hi Stargazer. Welcome. I have a bit of a different music today because today, chat, we have a bit of like more of a calming stream. It's more like a book review today. So we're doing like a book review today, yeah. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are all doing awesome. I am doing pretty well. We are just getting everything like all set it up. I just got started, when it comes to my streaming stuff. But yes, Yahoo! The least chaotic pink bunny mage of CUZN has arrived. My name is Cooky Usagida. It is so nice to meet you. Yeah. So today, guys, I got a book review for you guys. Now this book is called Unmasking My Spectrum, and I've been reading this book like from yesterday, and I really wanted to like talk about like this book with you guys. It's like a book, like a comic book, like a combination of like a comic book, and it's about like this author's experiences with ASD. And by the way, for those of you guys who are wondering, yes, I got permission from the author to be able to review this book on stream. I did ask her if it was okay to talk about the book. And hi, Hardy Quinn, welcome to our book club today. Hello, welcome. A little bit of different music that we have today. We have a bit of different music. Thank you for the stars. I appreciate you guys. Welcome. We are talking about today Unmasking My Spectrum, called an autistic comic autobiography. So this book is all about like the author's life experiences with autism and what they are going through. So there is a lot that I wanted to talk about as well with this book. It talks a lot about, the author's experiences, what they're going through. So, if you guys all know, Silpha the Sky Dragon has summoned you. So, it's not a Yu-Gi-Oh stream today. But we are doing like a bit of a different stream. Usually on stream chat, we usually do like gaming and like chatting and all that, and, like video reactions and stuff. But today is a bit of a calming stream. I just wanted to talk about like the book and talk about it. So that's what we're doing today. So one thing that I wanted to talk about with this book is talking about the concept of what the author's experiences are. So I cannot read you guys all of it, but I can tell you guys a little bit about all of these autobiographies. Right. Welcome in, Coco. How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. So we're gonna be talking about this book on stream today. So we're kind of giving you guys like a little bit of context. If you guys want to check out this book, please go check it out on Amazon. This is my friend's book, by the way, if you guys are wondering. This is the book that my friend did, and she gave me permission to review it on stream, and I decided, we're going to do this book review sighting today. Yeah. How you guys all doing? I'm doing good. Hope you all doing good too, yeah. So, let me give you guys a little bit of context of what this book is all about. But if we really want to understand, what this book is all about, right? It's all about understanding ASD. Right. Autism spectrum disorder has existed since the dawn of time. There has always been people with this disability, though it wasn't discovered until much later. As this book will show, autism is more complex than some may think. It presents itself differently in every autistic person, Each person's experience is valid. A recurring characteristic among various autistic people is a special interest or long-term passion. This can include types of media or specific subject matters. Another common behavior is stimming. Their repetitive motions and or vocalizations. Some may be sensitive to certain sensory experiences. They may have aversions to loud noises, strong scents, or taste, for instance. Some may struggle with social interaction. They may have trouble keeping eye contact, or trouble or emoting facially. As such, others can't always read them. There is one reason why autism has been stigmatized, and this book serves to combat that. Autistic people have faced the stigma for many years, and some of it is rooted in misconceptions. While light has been shed and many myths have been debunked, some linger to this day. One such misconception existed in the ancient Norse and Celtic cultures. They believed autistic kids were changelings that replaced their real life kids who were captured by fairies. According to legends, some changelings are intelligent, while others learn slowly. Changelings are also squibby and defiant, which reflects stimming and how some autistic kids may misbehave. Many children were abandoned. This was not the only way autistic people were mistreated and misunderstood. In 1911, Paul Berger said that autism is a red flag for childhood schizophrenia. This led to many kids being wrongly placed in psychiatric wards. Thankfully, there are psychiatrists with different mindsets. In 1925, Gerda Tsukiice observed 11 autistic kids. She didn't view them as insane and focused more on the traits, like special interests. Unfortunately, her studies were forgotten about for all these years. In 1943, Leon Kanner also asserted that autism is not a sign of psychiatrists. He also noted other behaviors such as echolalia, or repeating others, or sensory issues. In 1944, Hans Asperger observed children with motor difficulties and fancy vocabulary. His studies caused people to realize that autism is on a spectrum. A specific subtype of autism was coined from their studies, Asperger syndrome, autism without learning disabilities. In 2013, the term was discontinued, and it merged into autism itself, since autism is a single spectrum, not separate types. And since Hans Asperger sent children to the regime to be hurt, it's for the best. His studies may have opened people's eyes, but autistic people do not wish to associate with him. The 1990s was when people started to preach acceptance for neurological disabilities. Autistic people could finally speak for themselves. While there were some missteps even after this, autism acceptance began to bloom from there. So basically, what I read was the first couple pages of this book. Because in order for us to really understand what this autobiography is all about, right? We need to understand like what autism is. So as you guys all know, the author and I both have a disability called ASD. And if you guys do not know what autism spectrum disorder is, there are different kinds, different types of autism. So some people with autism, for example, are nonverbal. Well, for me, my autism basically is known for one thing. And that basically means for myself that while I do not have any learning disabilities, like any like problems with learning, I do have a problem when it comes to, for example, socializing with other people. And so the author wanted to talk about her experiences. And for people that are basically also struggling with also living with ASD too, this book is also created by someone who also is on the same spectrum as I am. There's a lot of things that we all struggle with as well when it comes to living with conditions like ASD. And some of the stuff that people are also going through as well. For example, the different kinds of interests that they have, and focusing more on their traits. And basically talking about preaching acceptance for people with neurological disabilities. But yeah, if you guys are learning more about ASD, there's definitely like a lot of history going through it too. So, for example, there's a lot of misconceptions that have been talked about with how ASD was treated. Also, hi Fishy, welcome to stream. So we are reading about Unmasking My Spectra, which is an autobiography. By the way, if you guys want to get this book, please do consider checking out the book located on the Amazon link. It is available on Amazon. You guys do want to check it out. And yes, for those of you guys that are wondering, yes, I did get special permission from the author to be able to go over this book on stream. If you do want to see the book for your guys' selves, please do consider reading the book on Amazon. It is available on Kindle. And you can also get a paper copy as well, too. But yeah, one thing I also wanted to talk about with this book that I've been reading as well is also talking about that we're all struggling. Well, this book is all about acceptance. And with being accepted, there's a lot of stuff and behaviors that is different. However, the book also basically talks about this one important thing. The one book that I wanted to talk about in one of my favorite pages is all about this. You guys know the Hawaiian word ha'a'a. So, you guys know ha'aha. So, ha'a'a is a Hawaiian word which basically means humility, modesty, and a lack of pretense. It also is part of the Hawaiian acronym Aloha. So I'll type it in the chat so you guys can learn about it. But there's a lot of words in the Hawaiian language that match with this book. So ha'aha means humility. And it's part of our acronym that Hawaii is all about, right? In our foundational Hawaii acronym, we use this acronym called Aloha. It's all about the practice of living with an open and sincere heart and acknowledging others and understanding your own growth. Polynesia mentioned, hey, Cosmic Otaku, welcome to stream. Hello, yes. My name is Cooky Usagida. I am the least chaotic pink bunny mage from CUZN. Yes. Did you guys all know that I myself am part Kanaka Maoli? Did you guys all know that I'm Kanaka Maoli? Yeah. I am also Polynesian because I am part Native Hawaiian. Yeah. Aloha, Sagida, aloha. Hello. How are you doing, a Cosmic Otaku? Welcome to stream. We are talking about Unmasking my Spectrum. This book, I recently went to the book signing yesterday, and if you guys are asking, wondering about reviewing the book, I did get special permission from the author to talk about this book on live stream. So if you do want to check it out, you guys are more than welcome to. Like I said, I'm not gonna go over all of my all the stuff. I'm aware of who you are. I'll talk to you on group chat. Ah! I saw that video, yeah! Thank you. thank you, yeah. It's been a while since I last met you. How have you been? I hope you've been doing good. I hope you've been doing well. Yeah. I got a little bit of calming music as well, which is pretty cool. To answer your question, sick as a dog, so I'm just watching streams. I'm so sorry. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. I really hope you feel better soon. Please take care of yourself. Please. If you gotta go rest, if you gotta rest up, if you gotta take medicine, you know, grab some soup, rest up, please do so. Your guys' health is very important. I didn't know you tried group chat. Yeah, I've been on group chat a couple times. I wish I could do more group chatting, but you know, my schedule is just like a lot. Yeah. I want you to make a reaction video to a 2-hour, 30-minute video essay, but the Sahara dust bodied me. I'm really sorry to hear that with the health issues. But please take care of yourself. That is very important. You know, your health comes first. You know, so please take care of yourself first and foremost. That is very important. But I do want to say, you know, I really appreciate you stopping by, and thank you again for, you know, stopping by and supporting me and supporting the book as well. You know, it really does mean a lot. So thank you. Yeah. I will. I spent most of the day. What's the name of the book? So it's called Unmasking My Spectrum. It's an autistic comic autobiography. So I was trying to leave a message for my friend. So if you do want to take a look at the book, I will type it in the chat. But it is a very good book. You know, for people who do want to learn more about, you know, about ASD. Oh, thank you so much for the lurk, Aurora. Welcome to stream. Thank you so much for lurking. I always appreciate the lurks. So, as you guys all know, with unmasking my spectrum, right? It's all about learning about the different spectrums, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, did you guys ever watch the movie Rain Man? So, I actually never heard about Rain Man before, but there's a movie in 1988 which the book talked about. Which had a character named Raymond who has ASD. And then the viewers who began to watch Rain Man, right? They learned that people with ASD can be smart as them too. But they also talked about this one betrayal. As well, like different kinds of betrayals, right? Rain Man the Savage. So not necessarily Rain Man the Savage, but there's this character named Raymond who is known as a genius. But the thing is, when it comes to ASD, right? There's all different kinds of intellectual when it comes to ASD, right? So, also like another way to say that each of them is distinct. So, for example, we have simple, we have average, we have smart, and we have somewhere in between. But from my end, Cookie Nation, right? That's what the author said. We both have a very difficult time like socializing and communicating with others. But at the same time too, we also have different interests too. We tend to be like very fascinated with our interests. So you guys know, for example, I'm very much into like the anime culture, right? I love anime so much. Like, I'm an anime, K-pop, and manga person. Like, I just love anime. I love K-pop. I love manga so much. And the author, right, really likes TV tropes and cartoons and like comic books and all that. And that's what it is, different interests and all that. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah. Like reading books. That's what it is, yeah. Oh, Omao is also resilience. Yeah, exactly. That's the Hawaiian word for resilience. It's part of aloha in Hawaii. So that's what it is. Yeah. Basically, it's a book about Hi, Katie! Welcome for the first time. I'm Cooky Usagida from CUZN. The Buddy Boy Saw a Carrot. You're a buddy? Yeah? That's awesome. That is super awesome. But yeah. Hello, fellow buddy. I'm Cooky Usagida from CUZN. I'm also a fellow buddy VTuber. And I am doing a book review today. We're calling it Unmasked by Spectrum, an autistic comic autobiography. That's what it is, yeah. So I read a little bit earlier about like what ASD is all about and like everything that they're going through. So one thing, for example, that the author talked about, which I can relate to, it's all about masking. So, you know, for those of you guys who are wondering about what masking is, it means that you tend to like suppress your traits. Basically, like from a desire to fit in. And for me, right? I was going through like a lot of masking issues as well. Like when I first started VTubing, right? Back in 2020, I was like masking like quite a lot because at the same time, right? When it comes to masking, quick question, what's everyone's pronouns? Don't want to mess everything up. I'm a she, her. I am a she, her. I am a female. Yeah, she, her is totally fine on my end. She, her is totally fine on my end because I am a female. I'm a girl. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, they, him, even though I'm physically a woman. Okay, so they, him. Alright, so they pronouns for. Is they pronouns okay for you, Kitty? Catty? How's it pronounced? Is it Catty or Katie? Would they then pronouns be okay? Because I want to make sure that your guys' pronouns are alright. Because usually, right, when it comes to, like, if I don't really know, like, the pronouns, I usually just use, like, they, them pronouns. Or if they say, oh, okay, the pronouns are they, them, I just use, like, they, them pronouns. Catty, but I don't mind if they call me Katie. Okay. Well, thank you so much. No worries, like I said, like I said, we are a welcoming community. So, please do feel free to make yourself comfortable, Please do. Yeah. That's what it is. What's another book that you can relate to? But yeah, masking is one thing, right? Because when I was in the VTuber, like when I first started in the VTuber scene, right? I was masking so much because like I wasn't like so sure whether people would like want to be around me, right? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I was masking so much. Like I would basically be like, okay, if I'm masked, right? Like suppressing like my own traits, maybe I won't get bullied too much. Because the thing is, right? I wasn't like so sure whether like the VTuber community would, like me who I am. Hey, Cooky Gamer! I saw your new overlay. Thank you so much for coming. Hello, we're doing a book review today. Welcome. How are you? I hope you're doing good. Hi. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hello. You're now part of my cult? Wait, you have a cult? I see. Yeah, so we're reading this book. Well, we're not reading the book, but we're talking about this book called You're My Cult Now, yeah. I see. I'm doing well displaying power. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, so hold on. Let me get this one up so that way you guys can see the chat. But we are talking about this book called Unmasking My Spectrum. If you guys do not know, you guys remember how I was talking about like my friend who wrote a book recently. Hi, Ruko, thank you. You have yourself a wonderful day too. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. Hi, thank you so much. Yeah. By the way, we're also doing what was it? We're doing like a YouTube partner push stream. So if you guys do want to share your streams around, please do feel free to do so. I'm trying to get to YouTube partner for the end of the year. So yeah, feel free to. Yeah. You asked a lot when you first started streaming. I did. But that was because at the time, right? I wasn't like so sure like whether people were gonna like me or not. So I masked a lot. And even in my previous group that I was in, I also masked a lot because I didn't want to like mess up or like get in trouble and all that. So I just masked a lot. Do you mask in CUZN? No. In CUZN, I'm able to talk about like the stuff that I want to talk about. Like, if I want to talk about like Hawaiian culture, I can do that. Cause being part of CUZN, right? It's all about talking about our like Pacific Islander cultures. And for me, I am part Native Hawaiian, and so that's something that's a part of who I am. I gotta go. Sorry, it's okay. It's okay, guys. If you have to leave, please do not be sorry. Like I said, I understand you guys gotta go. You know, please feel free to come and go as you choose. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. All the best. It took about a year for me to hit party. You got this. Oh, Ruka, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I do want to go for like Twitch partner, but my numbers are nowhere near like Twitch partner status yet. That's the thing. Like, my numbers are nowhere near the status of Twitch partner. So, YouTube partner, I'm more like up there. So I decided that YouTube partner is more like doable for me. But like Twitch partner is like, maybe I need to like stream a little more on Twitch before I can think about getting partner. But I would one day would love to do Twitch partner push. It's just that right now my numbers for Twitch partner on my end are not like necessarily the best. So that is why I'm not doing like a Twitch partner push yet. Yeah. You masked a lot when you first started? I did. I masked quite a lot. Because I didn't want to, you know, be like, what is it? Outcasted. So I masked a lot. Do you have like any like environments that you're able to like unmask? When I was up with Takahashi and his friends, and yeah, I unmask. I'm a lot more able to unmask in areas. Like for example, right? When I'm with Abu Takahashi and his friend group, right? In his streams, I'm able to like unmask like more often because like I've known Taka for like 5 years, so I'm able to do that. Yeah. And of course, when I meet you guys at anime conventions, I'm always able to unmask. And you know, also the model, as you guys can see, that also goes well with it, right? Goes that way. Yeah. But as you say in the book, right? There's also a sense of lokahi. You guys know what the word lokahi means in Hawaiian? You guys all know what lokahi means? Okay. You guys can take a guess. What is lokahi in Hawaiian? So lokahi is a Hawaiian word. But what is it in Hawaiian? Right. You guys can take a guess. And talk about it. You know, the word lokahi, right? But what do you guys think that lokahi means, right? So I'll read it to you guys. Right. I made more friends with my classmates. There was a sense of lokahi. We are all connected as beings. So what do you guys think lokahi means? So, lokahi means unity in Hawaiian. I made more friends with my classmates. There was a sense of lokahi, or unity. We are all connected as beings. When I was aware of my flaws, I never felt like I had to do any masking. Masking is where autistic people suppress their traits. This could be from a desire to fit in, or others forcing them to hide it. This could cause mental issues for them. They could get exhausted from keeping it in, or feel disconnected from who they truly are. They shouldn't have to feel like they need to mask. They should have the right to feel like themselves. Hey Ado, welcome to stream! So, I am doing a book review today. We're talking about Unmasking My Spectrum. If you guys do want to read the book, please do feel free to go to Amazon link. It is available in the description on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, I do have like a pinned comment link that you can check out. But yes, we are talking about a book review today. It's kind of a calming stream. You know, we're kind of feeling like a bit calm. You know, we're feeling like, you know, we're a bit calm. So that is what we're doing. I do an ukulele stream next week. I will be next week. I have to do my like more practice on the ukulele to try to get better at the VTuber ukulele party. So that's what I plan to do. I don't know, like I do want to ask Taka, but I don't know, like, because we're in different time zones. That's why. So yeah, it's good. I take it. It's very good. It's very, very good. It's like a book that you can learn more about like a person's like spectrum that they're going through. Not that spectrum, but a person's life that they're going through. You know? Yeah. Yeah. By the way, they also talk about this one too, right? So this one is another. I see, yeah. But yeah. Do you know like the word masking, by the way, chat? So masking, it's nothing that I can understand because you know I masked quite a lot when I first started streaming, right? Because when I first got into the VTuber scene, I was masking quite a lot, and I masked so much because I didn't want to be someone who got, you know, bullied. I didn't want to be bullied. And I wasn't like so sure, right? If talking about like Hawaii stuff, like talking about like, oh, I'm from Hawaii and I talk about Hawaii on stream. Well, check it out. Yeah, feel free to check it out, Ito. Kind of, yeah. So masking is when autistic people suppress their traits. This could be a desire to fit in, others forcing them to hide it. This could cause mental issues for them. They can get exhausted from keeping it in, or feel disconnected from who they truly are. They shouldn't feel like they need to mask. They should have the right to be be themselves. But yeah, masking is what a lot of people who are living with ASD do, because we want to be able to either like fit in, or we don't want to like be that kind of person that's like dragging them down. So what I did like during like my first couple years of streaming was I masked. I basically was like trying to mask myself, and I was like, if I masked myself, right, maybe people would try to, you know, like me, right? And that's what I did. Do you mask nowadays? No, not anymore. Like on stream. I'm part of a VTuber group now called CUZN, which I don't have to mask. I can talk about like my culture and stuff, and you know, I don't have to do that, which is really awesome. But I remember, right, during my first few years, I would mask. Kind of sounds like code switching. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think like when I became a VTuber, like when, like after like my first couple years, I started to realize that, you know, CUZN, yeah, it's a VTuber group. If you want to learn more about CUZN, let me type it in the chat so you can learn more about us. Yeah, we are a VTuber group, a Pacific VTuber group, and I'm a member. I joined recently, and that's who we are. Yeah, that's who we are. We are a Pacifica VTuber group, and I represent Hawaii, which is part of Polynesia. So that makes me Pacific Islander, yeah. But I will make it very clear, Cookie Nation, I'm only part Native Hawaiian. So I'm basically mixed. Yeah. But I'm part Native Hawaiian. And, you know, I felt that, did you ever felt that you had to like suppress like mask a lot? I felt like I had to, yeah. Like a lot. Because I didn't want to be that kind of person that was like dragging other people down. So, you know, when she talked about, you know, I have to mask, it made me realize, like, wow, that's also me too. You know, when I'm on stream, I had to mask so much because I didn't want to cause like a scene. I didn't want to be that kind of person that sticks out in a sore thumb, right? So I just masked. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is about, you know? Yeah. And then there's another one that I could also talk about. Alright, this one. It's probably one of the stuff that I also struggle with too. Another issue that plagued me in my early middle school years was phone anxiety. Being put on the spot like that made my heart race and made my mind went blank. Some autistic people have this problem due to unpredictability and being unable to tell what someone means about visual cues. However, I knew I had to get used to phone calls as they be important in my adult years. For example, some jobs require it. I started to practice my parents, like the people I trusted. Sorry, trusted my parents. I got used to it and came to enjoy it. Hearing my faraway friends' voices made our bonds even stronger. this is another case of Hohomao. I never gave up on personal growth. On the topic of social interaction, there is an issue that I've had for a long time. I don't always know how to start or carry on conversations with people I'm not acquainted with. However, if someone brings up a topic I'm into, like video games or werewolves, I jump right in. Small talk isn't always easy for me due to the lack of structure. When it comes to things I feel strongly about, I can ramble on and on. Shared interests are especially strong foundation for trust among autistic people, since there's sense of similarity and belonging. I sometimes hyperfixate on certain media, such as obscure shows or games. I feel like they need more love. You know, for me, Cookie Nation, that's the one thing that I can like understand, right? It's because I'm slowly starting to get used to like being able to be on VC calls, right? Like I practice a lot on Discord VCs and like all of those stuff, but like when I first started streaming, right? It was very difficult. Even now, like I still have a bit of like a conversation starter, like I would be like, did I say something wrong? Or like, what are they saying or what are they talking about, right? So, for me, right? You know, being a VTuber for me, I had to like get started, like get used to like being on Discord calls, phone calls, and everything like that. And I'm still practicing a lot, you know? Yeah. I'm still like practicing a lot. Also, thank you so much by the way for the thank you so much by the way for the hype as well in Irium. But you know the reason why Cookie Nation, you know, we talk about, hyperfixation is because there is a distinction between special interests and hyperfixations. The former is often long term, while the latter is often short term. But hyperfixations can become special interests with time. So basically, sometimes when I'm info dumping, I might bore or overwhelm the listener by mistake. I have some trouble with nonverbal cues. It can be hard for me to tell how somebody feels by their face or gestures alone. Some autistic people struggle with that because they take information differently. As for me, telling me straight up what's wrong is an ideal way to get the message. Yeah. Usually for me, right? I can understand, what's it like. Shelter in. Thank you for the shelter in. Yeah. Like I can understand that. Like it's something that like I can understand, right? Like masking and all of that. You know? Or like talking about an interest or a hobby. You know? How's your social skills coming along when it came to VTubing? I'm definitely like getting a lot better when it comes to it. I would say like I think back when I first started, I was still trying to get used to like socialization, but now it's like even though like my social skills are still not 100% like there yet, I know it's like helping me out like a lot. Like there's like rules that you have to follow on collabs, right? And I'm still like learning like the collab stuff too. So, it makes sense. You're learning from collabs. Yeah, exactly. I'm learning a lot from like the collabs and everything. So it makes me happy, when people invite me to collabs and stuff. Yeah. Imagine the talking takes some getting used to. Yeah. It took like a lot of getting used to for me as a VTuber. It's like, I can understand because at the same time, you know, the talks is like, I can understand it. You know, like it takes like a little bit of getting used to. Because, you know, when I'm doing all these collaborations, right? And I'm collaborating with people like back to back to back to back. You know, that is something that takes a little bit of getting used to for me. Do you still have like trouble with like non-verbal cues? Sometimes. I still do sometimes. I still have like a little bit of like trouble with like non-verbal cues, but you know, I think like when it comes to like VTubing and all that, right? You kinda gotta get like used to the non-verbal cues and all that. And then the small talk. That was the one thing that I struggled with like a long time. It's like small talk, like figuring out like the topics that I wanted to come up with. So like for example, when I got on Irium, right, I was thinking, what can I talk about? And then I realized, wait, my brain was talking about it, like this kind of topic. And if I talk about Gundam on stream, right, I'll talk about Gundam on stream. I would be like, wait, is it okay for me to talk about Gundam on stream without scaring people away? So, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. And then another thing was also like group work. Oh yeah, that's the one thing. I pretty much had a lot of struggles with like group collabs or like group work. I'm trying my best to like get better at like group collabs and stuff. So, you know, especially because if I want to grow Hawaii's VTuber industry, I have to learn how to like collab in groups, right? I'm gonna be in a group collab like at the VTuber ukulele party, like you know, next weekend. So it's pretty interesting, but it is with people that like I do know of. So you know, I'm gonna do the best that I can. Yeah. That's what it is. The fact that people invite you and still support you despite your ASD is amazing. Yeah. You know, to be honest, when I first got into the community, I was like, would people mind me having ASD? Or like not having like the best social skills? You know, surprisingly, chat, I'm able to like be able to what is it? Like get used to, you know, doing collaborations with other people. Yeah. And then like talking to others as well when it comes to like events. Does High VTuber X will help you like be able to talk with more people? Yeah. I think like High VTuber X will really like helps out a lot, like doing all these events because I have to talk with everybody, like a lot of people. I have to talk with a lot of people every day. I talk with people on the Discord calls. You know, I have meetings and all that. So you know, I think that VTubing has helped me a lot with a lot of different stuff. So you know, I can understand. I can pretty much like understand all of it at the same time. So this one, I met some of these friends during group projects at school. I always like group projects before work gets done in the way. Some believe autistic people are too stubborn to listen to anybody in a group project, while some are set in their ways through the difficulty in accepting challenge. Just as many can be open-minded. When I was in a group, I would go along with the compromises. I knew in a team, listening to others is vital to finding a good solution. Was it hard to open up that you had ASD with Taka and Abyss? Yeah, it was pretty difficult. Because I wasn't like so sure, right, whether like you guys all know that I'm really good friends with Abyssal and Amo Takahashi and Abyssal Hayashi. And Abyssal's also my mod. And when I opened up about like having ASD with them, right, I was like, are they gonna accept me? But surprisingly, because Taka also was telling me that he also has ASD too, and Abyss has, ADHD, it really helped a lot with talking with them. Yeah. I think it's because you have friends that you can talk to that you don't have to mask anymore. Yeah. It's nice to have friends, like groups where you don't have to mask, and like you can feel like comfortable with like yourself in the community. So I had to get out of my comfort zone a lot because in this book it says over here, right? Getting out of your comfort zone can help you get used to something in the long run. And even now, I'm still trying to get out of my comfort zone. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's this one too. I could also understand too, right? Thank you so much for the likes, by the way, and thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. Sometimes I worry that my best is not enough, especially when memory issues makes it hard to learn things. Oh yeah, I also sometimes feel that way. Like sometimes for me as a person, right? Even now as like a content creator, sometimes I have those thoughts of like, is my best enough? So, I can understand, right? I can understand that feeling of, is your best enough? So I have to like keep going. I like keep doing my best. What helps you out a lot? Well, I have people that I know that I can talk to in the VTuber scene. Talking about things. Streaming also helps out as well. And patience. Lots and lots of patience. Lots and lots of patience like helps out as well. Gambare! Gambare moimasu! Yeah, 頑張れ思います. ありがとうございました. Yeah, we gotta do our best. That's what it is. All about doing our best. Yeah. And yeah, the one thing I remember in this book, did you guys know that autism and anxiety, they tend to coexist for different reasons? So, sometimes when I get on stream, right, or when I'm in a collab, or like when it comes to an event, right, I feel like this kind of person, I'm like, am I gonna do well enough? And even like when I had this Wīpi in Paradise, right? When I had this Wīpi in Paradise event, I felt that way. I felt like, oh, am I gonna do well? I gotta keep going. But for me, asking for help is one thing. Breathing deeply, taking breaks, and keeping telling myself to keep going, can power through it. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. Do group chats help you a lot? I mean, yeah, group chats help out a lot. When it comes to like I'm working on some kind of project, for example, I'm working on like some event, right? When it comes to, like some event, I'm like, okay, this one will work out with this one and this one. So I do that. Yeah. 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 What's the one thing that makes you happy? I feel like playing games. Drawing is one thing too. Cause there's one thing like I like drawing. I like writing stuff. I also like playing games. But I'm learning how to like get better at talking and like taking like these events. It just definitely helps out a lot too. It definitely helps. Yeah. So that was just one thing that talks about this, right? Art can help autistic people get their feelings out if they're having trouble using their words. It definitely helped me realize that I shouldn't blame them. And I will always be with me as long as I remember them. To this day, when I'm troubled, I still cope by creativity. This form of mediation helps me think better. Yeah. Oh yeah. What about the biases? There are still a lot of biases, and they talked about this too, right? I was so glad that my employers moved past their biases. It's important to have or have an open, flexible mind. You're capable of growing as a person. Yeah. I feel like, after like I started like streaming more often, right? Like you guys like see me on stream like quite a lot. I feel like now people do put aside their biases and they're like, Cooky can do it, you know? Just like a person who doesn't have ASD, Cooky Usagida, who also has ASD, could also you know, do the things that we can do too. She just needs a little more patience and a little more support. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is too. Yeah. Can you get fired for autistic traits? Sadly, unfortunately, it's very common. You know? That's the thing. That's the thing, too. Sadly, being fired for autistic traits is common. Some employers mistake their workers' autistic behaviors for intentional disrespect. I was hurt and angry. I had tried my best, but it wasn't enough. I began to feel ashamed of my autistic traits. I felt like I couldn't do anything right. But thankfully, my friends and family reassured me that I was better than I thought I was. And it's true, we shouldn't feel bad about being autistic. It's just a part of us. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just a part of who I am as a person, right? I have ASD and epilepsy, and that's just a part of who I am. Yeah. So it is very much of like an understanding that I can understand this, right? Something of the words of we shouldn't feel bad about being autistic. It's just a part of who you are. Made me realize, like, that's just a part of who I am as a person. And I shouldn't be feeling bad that I live with ASD in real life, you know? Yeah. Shouldn't have to feel bad about it. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. And here's another one that really does remind me of something. Grief also varies in autistic people. Some feel numb and don't outwardly express their pain. That doesn't mean that they don't care. They still hurt on the inside. Some may have delayed responses, and that's valid too. Some, such as myself, outwardly express how they feel. We all grieve in our own ways. That was something that I was feeling too, because you guys all know, right? Last year, right, I lost my family pet that's been with me for like 15 years. And you guys would hear him on stream, right? And I did like an entire like stream raising money for my dog, right? So when I was talking about it, I raised money for the Best Friends Animal Society. It helped me out a lot, and that was something that helped me. Yeah. What's also like one thing that you also have in terms of your traits? Um, Definitely talking loudly sometimes. Sometimes. Because I wasn't like so sure like whether this person can hear me or understand, you know? So sometimes like the talking loud part can be difficult. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is too. What's the one systematic barrier that autistic people often have to face? The one thing is called ableism, and they talked about ableism. You know, I was like the one thing that they talked about. And like, when they talked about ableism, it made me realize, yeah, there is still like a lot of ableism that does happen, unfortunately, in our world today. And that is something that unfortunately happens. You know? That was something that happens as well. Yeah. So there's actually this one in page 45 that talks about this. That did serve as a wake-up call. However, it proved that ableism is still a systematic barrier. Even today, I may come across people who judge me for my autistic traits. Other people might struggle with forms of stigmatization as well. It has come to my attention that some ableism stems from propaganda. Not only was there evidence insufficient, fear-mongering causes others to see autism as it is, as worse as it really is. Autism should not be feared on its own. It is not a cause for concern. For years, cause for concern. This really hurts. Autism is something that you're born with. It's not a disease. It's a natural variation of the mind that should be accepted by everyone. I can understand that too, because even like now on the internet, right? Whenever I go on the internet, sometimes, right, when you tell people, oh, you know, this is just how I am, I have ASD, you know, there can be like some ableism that unfortunately does happen on the internet quite a lot. Even as like a VTuber, as a streamer, right? I have to like work like extra hard for me to like prove myself that even as a person with ASD, I can still do the things that I want to, you know what I'm saying? I can still do that. Like I can still do a lot of stuff. You know, just because I have ASD doesn't mean, you know, that I'm not human. Excuse me. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. What about nothing about us without us? Oh yeah! That's the one! That's the one, that's the one. So, nothing about us without us, right? It's all about including a group in decisions that regards them, right? It's all about, the nothing about us without us. Groups should be involved in decisions regarding, them as well. Are people like becoming more accepting of ASD on your end? I think like after I, like with time, like after like all these events that I've done, I think like nowadays like people are becoming like more accepting and inclusive of the fact that I have ASD. And, you know, that's a good thing. It's a really, really good thing that nowadays, you know, there are more and more that are beginning to understand, like, being inclusive. But it is unfortunately sad that, like, with any kind of bigotry, you know, ableism, it's never gonna fully disappear. And there's even more, like, advocacy movements, too, you know? That's what it is. Are there also, like, media deception that could be validating and educational? Yeah! There's a lot of really good media out there that can be, like, validating and educational. Like, there was this one from, what was it? Have you guys ever watched, like, Arthur? Right? So, Arthur actually did an entire episode on autism. Because they created a character. Now, they created a character called Carl, right? And I like to say that when it comes to talking about, you know, autism, it kind of made me feel understood a bit. You know? Yeah. It made me understood. You know? So I'm really, really happy that, like, there's, like, TV shows and, like, movies that, like, understand, like how they handle, like, people who live with, like, ASD. You know? So seeing Arthur create this character called Carl, right, on Arthur, and giving, like, you know, like, an entire, like, spectacle about how, like, an alien planet, like, learning how to understand through this new planet. They don't have this guidebook, but, like, at the same time, you have this one particular interest and you really stick to it. It made me think about it, and it's like, you know, I could really think about Arthur a lot. And it made me think about, like, I can understand. Yeah, so whatever, like, nowadays, whenever, like, people want to learn more about ASD, I recommend, like, the Arthur video, because that's basically, like, what it's all about, right? You know, so it helps me to understand a bit more of, like, my condition and who I am. You know? So, it's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. You know about Ohana? Yeah. So Ohana means family, right? That's what it is. So I'll type it in the chat. Well, Hana means family, right? Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. And another special interest. Ever since I was in elementary school, a special interest of mine has been illustrating and writing books. I was inspired by books and shows that I looked at all the time. I wanted to make something as great and special as those. I felt like drawing and creating stories were great ways of letting my imagination soar. My classes couldn't get enough of my creativity. My teachers were impressed by my talents too. However, I did have some struggles. If I become too hyperfixated on something, I wouldn't always notice when the teacher called my name. Some autistic people concentrate so much that they don't notice their surroundings. That was super embarrassing, especially in all front of those classmates. My struggle with eye contact continued. I would ask why due to my curiosity. Occasionally, teachers took this the wrong way, but I never meant anything by it. Some autistic people want clarification so they could fully understand something. I think like the clarification part I could understand too, right? Yeah. Cause like I think like now like when it comes to like my friends, right? They kinda understand like okay, right? So Cookie may need like a little bit of clarification on this, and this. So that is something that I talk about, right? Like clarification. That's like the one thing, that I could understand, right? Yeah. That is something that I could understand too. That's the one thing. But yeah. That is the thing. So I could understand it. But yeah. Do you ever have like stuff that like you also feel like as well? Like when it comes to like masking and everything? But not just like masking too. But like, talking about like a hobby and an interest that you want to share with. You know? Well, like something that you want to share. You know? What is something for you that you're pretty good at when it comes to like your special interests? Ah, man. My special interest. In the VTubing world, my special interest has definitely been talking about Hawaii culture and like sharing it with other people. But like when I was like a younger bunny, right? A younger rabbit. My biggest thing that I was sharing with, right? Hmm. Oh yeah, I was really into I was really into airplanes. And I was talking about not like the airplanes that I was talking about, right? It's all about like commercial airplanes, not like, oh yeah, I was also into War Thunder as well when I was like, you know, younger too. So I would like play like War Thunder. It was like one of the games that I would play a lot of. Even when I had like my HP laptop at the time, I would like play War Thunder on it. And I was really, really into that game for a long time. Like I could like understand it. You know? It's something that I could like really, really understand. Yeah. So that's what it is. Hold on, I gotta go restroom. I'll be right back. So I am back. I have to go restroom. I'm so sorry. Hi, 1914. Thank you for the bonbon. Welcome, welcome. We're doing a book talk right now. We are doing a book talk. We are talking about unmasking my spectrum. You know, talking about like the experiences that the author goes through and like my experiences as well. Because there's a lot of stuff that she talks about, chat. There's a lot of stuff that she talks about. You know, like having ASD, like all the experiences that she goes through, right? So, you know, we're talking about it right now on chat, on stream, and it makes me realize that, you know, some of the stuff that she talked about in this book made me understand, like, a little bit about myself, right? Because you guys all know, I live with ASD in real life. I also have epilepsy, which is why I'm on anti-seizure medicine. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. How you doing, 1914? Hope you're doing great. We're just having a bit of a book talk. We're talking about unmasking my spectrum. If you want to check it out on Amazon, feel free to do so. You can talk about it right over here. That's the one. That's the one. It's nice to be able to talk about like things that you go through as well with the book. it is nice. It is nice. I get to talk about, you know, the kind of stuff that I go through. But it also like helps out like a lot with like understanding a little bit of myself. Because there's a lot of stuff that, you know, when it comes to learning about ASD, learning about understanding, you know, who I am as a person, but also like who the author is as a person. So, you know, it's learning about understanding who I am and understanding people as a person too. Everyone learns at their own pace. That is true. Yeah, that's what it is too. Hi, Sammy! Welcome to stream! We are talking about unmasking my spectrum. How you doing? Hope you're doing great. So, if you want to check out the book, you can check it out on Amazon. It's basically a autobiography. It's an autistic comic autobiography. But we're talking about it right now on stream because if you guys, I was given permission by the author to talk about this, so just want to let you guys know the author gave me full permission to talk about this on stream, so I'm able to talk about it. So that's what it is too, yeah. Do you want to like create like a video, like a lore video explaining about like what's it like living in ASD? I would actually. I want to. I want to do that. Now I was thinking about like creating a video, right? Of like telling myself, you know, I have ASD and I want to open up more about it with you guys. Maybe I could help other people understand who you are. Yeah, I could. Did you tell the other cousins that you have ASD? Not yet, but you know, that is something that I do want to tell the other cousins eventually. I told Taka and Abyss, but I haven't like told like the other cousins like about it yet. From what I do know of, you know. But I'm sure that the other cousins would understand. I'm sure they would. You know, the thing about cousin, it's all about, you know, being ourselves. And that's what it is. So I want to be able to do like a stream where I could just like talk about like having ASD, you know? Helps other people understand. That's the thing. That's the thing that helps a lot. It just like you learn how to like understand who you are. But you also like help other people who you are too. You know? That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. What's your favorite part of the book so far? Being able to see myself through the author. Like some of the things that she goes through. Like for example, right, when she talked about masking, it was something that like I could understand in myself. Because like I also have the tendency to be like, oh, I gotta mask I gotta like mask myself because I don't want to like cause trouble or cause drama, or like I don't want to be that kind of person that does that. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Is it common to like get fired for like autistic traits? It is. It's very common. And I did have like some like shame when it came down to like talking about like my autistic traits, you know? Yeah. Well, that's what it is. Yeah. And there's another one that also talks about it. So this one. As previously stated, misconceptions still persist. Generalizations are still a common one. Some people believe that all autistic people are violent. Hi, almost confusion. Welcome to stream. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. We are currently doing a book review stream of Unmasking by Spectrum. How are you? I hope you're doing great. You know, we're actually like reading a book that actually kind of makes me understand, you know, everything. Hello, I'm doing okay. How about you? I'm doing great. I'm talking about this book called Unmasking by Spectrum. If you want to check it out, you can check it out on Amazon. But you know, I've been able to like really understand a little more about myself through the book. And yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And then another one that this book also talks about too is this one. The truth is that while some may lash out, it's due to outbursts rather than planning. People also tend to believe that all autistic people are highly intelligent. Autistic people should not be put on a pedestal or vilified. They should be seen as equals. Nobody's perfect. Anyone can be mean or nice. I had personally came across people who put in stock in generalizations like this. It can be disheartening. I also met people in person and online. In one of the latter, I came across someone who came to hate the disabled, including autistic people. Yeah, like when it comes to like talking about my disability, right? I'm kind of like becoming more open with like talking about like my disability, right? ASD and all that. But you know, I'm kind of like becoming like more open with like ASD in general because of like the generalizations, right? So that's what it is, you know. Did you ever have like any trouble with like being a VTuber with ASD? Yeah, I did. You know, masking was one issue that I've been dealing with. But, you know, thankfully, you know, talking about it just makes it easier. But yeah. Also, by the way, I see that you also got a follow from Katie. Thank you so much for the follow. So, we're currently having to rank up. So, we have to go through the rankings of the cheer points. And in order for us to be able to boost up the cheer points, we have to get to 800 of the cheer points on Urium. I'll be sure on Urium every day. So I'm trying like my best is to like keep the stream coming along and like keep talking and entertain the crowd and stuff. I'm still doing like my very bestest. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. What is some stuff that you would tell people when it comes to reading that book? I would say like the one thing I want people to know, if you know, when it comes to reading that book, is to understand that when it comes to people who live with like not just like disabilities, but you know, people who aren't disabled, right? We have to understand that even then, by this time around, you know, it's all about growing as a person. Yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Anything that you want to do when it comes to like talking about like your disability, I love to make a video, like a lore video about it, or like a original song about it. So that is something that I think would be something that I want to talk about. Yeah. That is something that I would definitely want to talk about too. But yeah, when it comes to reading the book, chat, you know, we have to understand that people who have disabilities, you know, including ASD, are all people in general. We're all going through things in our lives. And as people who are living with disabilities, we have to be understood as people. It's not just, it's not just when it comes to it. Generalizing all people in one sphere. Okay, yeah. So I recommend, when it comes to reading this book, learning to, have an open mind when it comes to, okay, like, this person may have, for example, ASD, for example. Understanding and patience definitely go like a very long way when it comes to talking with people who have ASD. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. It's the one thing that definitely goes through when it comes to ASD. Yeah. Exactly. It's pretty nice to be able to read something. Yeah, it is very nice. Like being able to like read and like write, like being able to read something to you guys, but like talking about the book, it just like goes really well with, you know, it just goes really well with like a comic strip, but it also like helps to be able to understand, you know, who we are as people. That's what reading also does. It helps us to understand who we are as people. Like, when it comes to reading, when it comes to the book, it can really help us like understand who we are and what we're going through in our lives. You know, helping us to feel validated. You know, sometimes when it comes to like, you know, reading a book at my end, it made me feel like validated. Yeah, that is something. Sorry about that. Hold on, I gotta go drink some tea. Yeah. Yeah. So, one thing that I really like about the book is learning to understand who I am. But also, like, you know, learning to understand the author as well. That really helped a lot. So that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is too. Oh yeah. Another thing that I could understand too. The one thing that I could also understand when it comes to ASD, like having ASD, well, not just like all the traits, but the one thing that I can understand when it comes to this one quote. This one. My life isn't perfect. I have my share of struggles, but I'm not ashamed to be autistic. And to any of autistic readers, neither should you. within our community, there is room for any kind of mind. My experience and yours are vital parts of the story of our home. But it shouldn't just be in Hawaii. We should accept people's differences anywhere. And that's what it's all about. It's all about accepting differences. Not just understanding, but being accepting of the differences. You know? That everyone, and even myself and all of us here, we all have like our own differences. And we'll all try to overcome situations and solutions. And part of the book story is all about understanding differences. And that's what it's all about. And that is something that I can understand. Because it is a true statement. We are all going through our own stories. We're all writing our own fairy tales and our own stories that we're going through. You know? Our stories, our fairy tales, all the differences that we're going through. We all have our different paths. And that is all it is to be about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I wanted to ask you guys in the questions chat. Yeah. The one thing that helps me out a lot and also to understand like not just like what the author's going through, but like also what, I'm going through. And maybe you might have someone that you know of who also is going through the same situation as well. You know? So it is completely understandable. Yeah. You can understand. I can understand it. So basically, Adel, when it came down to the ending of the book, right? So if you look at the ending of the book, right? What we're talking about is in the ending, it talks about how even though their life is not perfect, it's about sharing the stories of struggles and not being ashamed of having autism. And within anyone's community, there is room for any kind of mind. And that's what it is, too. And that's what's really a part of the book. It's learning how to understand, a person's thoughts and feelings, but also understanding what their struggles are going through too, because we're all going through a lot of struggles. Even now with myself as a content creator, right? I'm still going through my own struggles. I'm still going through my own things and my own struggles and all that. But that's what it's been on my end. It's all about the struggles. It's all about growing as a person, but also, recognizing that your story matters and that you matter too. You know? So it is completely understandable. Oh, my phone just, oh no, my phone literally is, what is the chat? It's, it just, what is it? What is it, chat? My phone just died. My phone just died. So I have to let it cool off for a little bit. Sorry about this, guys. But I'll still be here. I'll still be here talking about the book. But yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. 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 And there's no worries next to the stream, of course. I was talking about like my VTube studio phone, not like the area phone. I'm still gonna be here like on stream for a little bit because I still want to talk about some stuff that like I can understand. But I really appreciate you guys all so much for being here. I really do, and like being able to like talk about this book with you guys. Make sure you guys go read the book. If you guys can get the book, make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you guys buy it on Amazon. You know, it really helps to support the author. And thank you so much to the author for giving me permission to be able to share this book. It was really awesome, you know, being able to like share this book with people. It's like, you know, a really cool thing. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The author gave me like permission. Yeah. It's cool learning about new books and such. Yeah, it is. That's something that like really helps out a lot with stuff. Like it really helps to be able to like learn more about like the book, but it also makes you realize like, hey, you know, I can understand this person. You know, I can understand what they're going through and all that. You know, it really helps to understand a person. Well, this one from page 39 is also pretty something I could understand too. Because even as a VTuber, like we all go through so much different steps, right? There's so much things we have to learn about, like, you know, streaming, talking to people. We have to learn all this technology, you know, social media management. There's so much. There's so much. And that's something that also helps as well. Yeah. That is something I can understand. Yeah. What's the book on page 39? On page 39? This one. It was hard to carry out tasks in multiple steps. Keeping them all in mind at once would cause me to shut down. When I was organizing items on the shelves, it was tough to remember what went where. There were times I had to for clarification, and some people thought I was being flippant. I had to learn at my own pace. It took me a while to learn where to store old items. So as VTubers, we all have to learn about these things. Like, we have to communicate with the other content creators. We have to learn, when our computer is breaking down. We have to learn how to use OBS and all this technology. So you learn all of these steps, and there's so much steps that we all have to learn. There is so much steps. It's something that I could completely understand. Yeah. So I can understand it. And there was another book too. There's another book in the page of 49. There's also this one too that said this, right? Infuriated by this, I told him that he couldn't judge them all based on a few bad apples. Ultimately, I gave up when it was clear that none of my points would change his mind. It was frustrating, but it helped me realize that not all people will change their ways. Like my bosses did. I found out that those people aren't worth it. It's best to spend time with those who accept you. Those who truly get it. Yeah. I'm doing the best I can to spend time with people who accept me. And I found a lot of people in the VTuber community who understand who I am. It's something that we could all understand, right? We could all understand we have to accept who we are. Learning how to accept other people and acceptance and understanding. So that really helped a lot. Yeah. What page is on 39, right? Oh yeah. Not 39. What's 39? Oh, 49. It was 49. 49. That's the one. Yeah. Best to spend time with those who accept you. Those who truly get it. That's a phrase that, we all gotta learn too. Learning how to spend time with people who accept us. And those who truly get it. Even now I'm still learning, hey, Cookie, you just gotta learn to spend time with the people who understand who you are, Not everybody is going to understand or change their ways to understand, who you are. So you just gotta spend time with the people who accept you, those who truly get it. And I do have a lot of people I do know of who truly understand who I am. And when I talk about this, right, especially like through this book, right, it can make me understand, like, wow, I can understand myself as a person at the same time. Yeah, it helps me to understand who I am. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is too. There's one page here. It's like a dedication, right? For my parents and friends who supported me during the making of this book, and for any autistic readers, you are not alone. Yeah. That's what it is. Like, I can understand a lot of the book as well. Yeah. Spending time with those who accept you. That's a very, very good life lesson. It's something that even now I am also learning as well. But I have a lot of people who do accept me, and I'm very happy. So that's the one thing I'm learning as well. But yeah. Do you guys have like any other like questions or concerns about the book? Like any comments about like the book? Any comments, any questions, any concerns? Yeah. Any comments or questions about the book? But yeah. You can find this book on Amazon. It's basically like an informative book. And if you want to learn more about autism, or if you know someone who has ASD, or if you have ASD, it's a good book to read. It allows you to like really understand from a person's perspective with ASD. Heck, it even helped me like understand who I am too. It made me realize that like I could also be in that position of, I can understand myself too. You know? So I can understand that. Yeah. so I can understand it. Alright. I think that is it for our book review today. That's pretty much it for our book club. How'd you guys like the book club today? Did you guys learn anything with the book? We pretty much went over the entire book today. I say it really helped a lot. Yeah. It helped me to understand, who I am. But it also, at the same time, got for me to talk about, all the things that I am also going through as well as a person living with ASD. And I do hope that it was not just what was it? Like a little bit of an educational stream, but it also, was something that I could talk about with you guys as well. And it helped me to really talk about, what I understand too. But yeah. If you guys have anything that you guys want me to review on stream, hopefully one day I'll be able to do more book reviews or book talks on stream. But the thing is, Cooky Nation, if I want to do any book talks, I have to get permission from the author to be able to do it. So that's the thing when it comes to book talks and all that. Yeah. That's what it is. Do you want to do a FIFA World Cup watch along next week? I think I want to, because the next week is I think it's the final week of the FIFA World Cup. So I would love to be able to maybe talk about the FIFA World Cup, not a watch along, but more a chatting shit where we talk about the FIFA World Cup. So I would say that'd be pretty cool to be able to talk about. I'd say that that's something that we could do. We can't do a watch along though, because that is copyrighted. But we could definitely do a talking stream, Yeah. That's what it is. Okay, let's see who is live. Oh, Madame Merope is live! I gotta redirect you guys to her. She is awesome, by the way. She is so awesome. I want to redirect you guys to her. She is so sweet. Oh, wait. She's not live. My apologies. Let's see. Who is live? I do hope I could redirect you guys to her someday. She's really sweet. She's a really, really sweet person. Maid Yuki. Oh, Maid Yuki is live. Okay. I want to redirect you guys to her. She's so sweet, guys. She is so sweet. So I want to redirect you guys to Yuki. So, yeah. She's super sweet, guys. She's a really kind person. She was actually a part of, what was it? She was a part of the VTuber in Paradise. And she actually was a part of it. So I want to redirect you guys to her for the YouTube side. I'm still learning how to please do forgive me. I'm still learning how to redirect you guys on YouTube. I got the redirects happening on my end. So what is it? don't think I could redirect on, what is it, on YouTube, but on Twitch I could. So I want to redirect you guys to CUZN from Aegis Link for the YouTube, and then for Twitch, I'll redirect you guys to Made Yuki then. So let me see. I hope you guys all enjoyed the book talk today. We had a very good, very chilling book talk. Thank you so much, 1914, for coming into the area. I'm sure I appreciate you so much. We had a very nice book talk. We had a very chill book talk, and I was able to talk a lot more about like myself, but like also was able to talk more about who I am. But I hope you guys could, you know, I hope you guys really enjoyed the book talk. I enjoyed the book review. I really did enjoy the book review. I did. I enjoyed the book talk. I did. Okay, so my next stream is tomorrow. Make sure you guys go to Abo Takahashi's channel tomorrow. That's gonna be at 3 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So Taka is gonna be coming back to stream tomorrow. Make sure you guys go support him. And yeah, give him all the love and support, guys. He's gonna be coming back tomorrow. But I still will be on stream. I'll be streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Irium. I don't know like when the Twitch and YouTube stuff, but Irium for sure I'm gonna be here like tomorrow. So thank you so much, 1914. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. So with that being said, that is the end of our book talk. That's the end of our book review stream today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well. And thank you so much to the author for giving me a chance to do a book talk. And well, thank you. Right. I'm gonna redirect you guys. I'm gonna raid. And yeah, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for the book talk, guys. It was really, really fun. All right. Bye-bye, Cooky.